this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do one of the May virtual crop sketches and work some more in my Ireland scrapbook. And I'm going to modify the sketch just a little bit because it is a single page sketch rather than a two-page sketch. And you guys know that I pretty much only do two-page sketches unless it's a title page or a last page in an album. So I changed it around just a little bit and I hope you like it. I think it's going to turn out well. Let's check out my workspace and we'll get started. All right, here's my workspace for today. Today we're going to, as I mentioned, work on a sketch from the May virtual crop. This is a single page sketch. This is sketch number 2 we're going to work on today. And we're turning it, of course, into a two-page sketch because I don't generally do one-page sketches unless it's the last page or the first page of an album. So I'm going to, in order to accommodate the photos that I want to place in my album at this time, I'm going to take this sketch and I'm going to turn it so that it is going this way. And the photos that are on my page, you will notice, are going to be totally different sizes than what you see here. And I apologize for modifying it that much, but the photos that need to come into my album at this point in time, I can't crop down to a 3.5-inch square. So I'm just going to do this my own way. And we just won't necessarily have the nice, neat blocking that this layout gives, which is okay. You can modify your layout however you need to do it, and so that's what I'm going to do. The rest of the layout will be basically the same as this. We are going to jazz it up just a little bit. I almost said we're going to jack it up. I don't want to jack it up. I want to jazz it up. Okay, so we're going to jazz it up just a little bit, and you're going to see how we're going to do that, and we're going to use this iron gate punch to do the jazzing up when we get that far. So I have my permanent and repositionable adhesive. This is going to come in really handy for adhering this with all the holes that are in this punch, and we'll get to that eventually, but right now we're going to cut some pieces. So I'm going to move my pages out of the way for a moment. We'll get back to them shortly. I'm going to move my punch over here just to get it a little bit out of the way and grab my trimmer. All right, so you can see by looking at the sketch that we have a darker colored paper on the outside. We've got another colored paper on the inside, and that is basically the same for both edges of each page. And then we've got a 4-inch band of something else right here. And while it's true that in grayscale, Creative Memories designers don't necessarily mean that you have to use a dark color for this edge and a little bit lighter for this edge and a light color here for this one, for some reason in my head, to make sense of a sketch, that's how I look at it. I look at the darker the grayscale, that's where the darker paper that I'm using is going to go, and then a little bit lighter, and and so forth. You don't have to look at it that way, but that's the way that I perceive it. But basically they do mean, though, that this one that's dark here and this one that's dark here should be the same paper. Okay, so whether it's a light paper or a dark paper, it should be the same if you're following the sketch. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to cut 4 1-inch pieces of this really pretty plaid. This plaid is what came in, or came with the new Ireland theme pack that we just came out with here recently. So I'm super excited to use it because it's a beautiful plaid. And I think it will look really lovely on these pages in particular. You'll recall that the last time that we got together, I was working on the first page of pages for the Dublin Castle. The Dublin Castle, I think I mentioned in the other video, but I'll just say again, the Dublin Castle is really more of a museum. It's kind of not meant for a monarchy. There isn't a monarchy in Ireland, although at one point I think they thought there was going to be. And I say that because there is a throne room in this castle with a throne, complete with a throne. And you'll see those pictures later on when we get to those layouts. But it's interesting to me that, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about what's going to come next. I think the next color we're going to do is the green. So I'm flipping this page over. This page had kind of a map of Ireland down here in the corner, which I don't really need to use. So I'm going to, these next two pieces, I'm going to cut special. So this is what's different and varying from the sketch. I'm going to cut two 2-inch pieces, and then we're going to do something fun with those. So two 2-inch pieces are going to replace the 4 1-inch pieces that we would have cut for these right here. Okay? Then we need 2 4-inch pieces. So I'm going to use this paper for the 4-inch pieces, because this is just so cute with all the Irish words on it. And so we're going to cut this at 4 inches. We won't see a whole lot of this paper in the layout that I'm going to be doing, but it's super cute, so I want to make sure we get it in, and it will show up in other layouts as well, so I'm not too worried about the fact that most of it will be covered up in this particular one. Okay, and so then this bit is left over. We could use this for a journal box if we need to, because it's a nice tone-on-tone type of paper. So we'll just set that up there for right now and come back to that. We are going to need a border of some kind or a sticker, 12-inch sticker of some kind to go here. And so if you don't already have one in mind, you might want to consider that. But right now what I'm going to do is grab these green pieces that we cut, these 2-inch green pieces, and we're going to punch, we're going to use the gate punch, and we're going to punch both of these. Now, a trick for using, I have to grab my sticky notes here. A trick for using a piece of paper that is not probably 4 inches wide or more in this, I'm going to put that up there. It's going to get punched, but that's okay. In a punch like this, you need to adhere something to the edge so that you can see where the edge is. There are some other cheap methods that you can do, and some of them work really well, and some of them you have to have a knack for. The easiest way to tell where the edge of your paper is to just line up a Post-it note on the edge of that piece of paper. Then you know where the end is, and you can put it at the mark that is on this punch right here to know where to start punching. All right? And you might punch the Post-it note, but that's okay, it'll peel off. So we're going to just punch and slide. And this punch has a cute little notch in the back piece so that you know when you have slid the punch enough to be able to punch it again. Not all the punches have that. Not all of them need it, to be honest. But this one does need it because it's so repetitious. So it is helpful to be able to just line that notch up and then make sure your design is covering the blue in the appropriate spot. And then you know you're good to go. Okay, so we've got this piece punched, and we're going to punch a second piece here. So I'm just going to line up my Post-it note and punch the second one. Okay. All right, let's get our punched pieces cleaned up. This one punches quite a few tiny little bits, so we need to keep that in mind. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come back in here with our trimmer, and we're going to take this and we're going to cut it in half down the very, very center here. All right, so I'm just thinking, I wonder. I actually am thinking that maybe we ought to cut it a little differently than I had planned to cut it. Because each one of these will be on either side of the layout, and having this solid edge up against the other, up against the edge that's going to have a border sticker over it would probably be the better way of doing this. I'm just thinking for a second here. All right, so my initial plan was to cut it right there, right on this line, so that I had half on one side of the layout and half on the other side of the layout, and then trim this off. But now I'm thinking maybe we ought to, no, that's not going to be a finished edge if I trim it here. Might be okay though. Let's try it. All right, I'm going to just add just a little bit of adhesive to a couple of places along here to make sure that my paper doesn't shift. And I'm going to lay this down on here so that I can see that my cutting, somehow I've got like a really deep groove right here, but I don't have it in the rest of my strip, so I don't know what I did there, but I gouged it well and good. Let's see. All right, I think that's probably good. Let's cross our fingers that this is going to be the way we should do this. I wonder sometimes when my brain shifts gears before I have a chance to put a plan into action. But I think that's going to work really nicely. So you can see if you're off at all, you can lose that whole tiny thin line right there. So it is something you have to just really be careful about. I'm going to lay this on here the same way. hope that I am not off. Let's see. It's so hard to see because I don't know if you realize what I'm trying to do, but the spot that I'm looking for is actually between these two little itty bitty holes so that I can see where the blade's gonna go. And that's not always easy to see. So just have to be really patient and careful. That one turned out okay. It has a wider edge on it, which is good. The first one, the edge is just barely there. So, all right, let me grab a page here and we will get started assembling this. So I'm going to, oh, I should tell you about these pictures before I move them all. So this is the, after we had walked down a corridor towards the castle from the initial gate into the area, we came across this huge courtyard here. And in that huge courtyard, or across from the huge courtyard, is another gate. And at the top of the gate, you can see is this statue of Lady Justice is what that is, and you can see she's got her scales here and she has a sword. And our tour guide was explaining that many of the Irish people were unhappy when they put this statue here on the halls of justice. This was where Parliament met, and so they were deciding laws and a good deal of other things. And they were very unhappy because you can see from this close-up of the statue that she's looking at the sword, she's not looking at justice, at the scales of justice. And that had a great symbolism for the people there. They were very disappointed, very unhappy, and many were quite angry about that. Then, so she sits right here at the top of this gate, and we walked over and, let's see, no, this was the gate that we walked through. So we came through this doorway right here from down at the end of that corridor to see her. And then the building that we went into for the tour was actually opposite that. That's why we were able to get this photo of her, which you can barely see her up atop the gate here, but that's this gate. And down here in the courtyard area, where the cobblestones were, is this statue that is permanently affixed there, and it was a gift to the monarchy there, or not the monarchy because they don't have a monarchy, but it was a gift to the leadership in Ireland at some point. I don't remember who gave it, but I'm sure that my editor will do his best to explain the facts that I'm missing. And my daughter thought he was cool, so she wanted her picture taken with him. And this is a statue that is actually inside the building. Okay, so those are the fun pictures that are going to go on this layout. Let's go ahead and get to work. So I'm going to set that page up there for now. We're just going to work on this page, and we're going to use one of these, and we're going to flip this around and put that there. Excuse me. Then we're going to put one of these and take this one, and this one's not going to be flipped around. This one's going to be just open like that. I believe that was my plan. So let me go ahead and get these down, and then we will proceed from there. Okay, so tucking this in nice and snug all the way up against the plaid paper as much as I possibly can. Although we're not going to see that seam because we're going to cover it in just a second, but for now that's what's going to work. Okay, we're going to come back in here with the permanent adhesive. Whoop. Nope, that's the repositionable adhesive. Well, that works too. All right. We definitely need repositionable for this piece because of all the holes. All right. So there's that, and then we're going to come in here with this piece, and this piece is going to go right up against the iron gate punched piece, just like that. Okay. All right, so before we go any further, I'm going to do the second page real quick. All right, so let's bring in our left-hand side of the layout now. So here we have this is the basic part of the layout. Now we're going to come in here with these cute 12-inch stickers that came with the Ireland theme pack. These are going to go up centered right over the seam of the outer border. Just like that. All right. And then let's go ahead and get our pictures down now. So according to the sketch, let me pull that out again so you can see what the sketch looks like again. According to the sketch, and I have it turned on its side since we turned ours, we've got so those photos are going to go there like so. We're going to I'm going to kind of deviate and just lay my photos out just like this again, but on this side, and just normally I would have kind of put both of the vertical ones on the outside and all the horizontal ones on the inside. But this is the way the story is told, so this is the way that I'm laying this out this time around. What I'm looking at is to see if we need to mat anything. And I'm thinking that yes, I would like to mat a couple of these at least, or maybe a few of them. So let me grab some dark green or some blue. Maybe we'll use blue. So we'll use some blue cardstock to bring out the blue in the other paper. And we'll make this 4 1/4. So 4 1/4, and then some of these are digital photos, so they're measured at 5 1/4, so we just need 5 1/2. And I'm just thinking I'll just mat all of them just because that way they'll all match. So we're going to do another 4 1/4. Five and a half. Another 4 1/4 strip. I'll just do 2 4 1/4 strips since we're measuring that. And then let's make sure the measurements on these. So that one is, I'm pretty sure these are as well. They're 5 1/4. Yeah. Okay, so we need 4 more that measure 5 1/2. So we'll just stack our 4 1/4 sheets and cut them that way. As my husband likes to say, you work smarter, not harder. Okay. So bear with me a second while I get all of these photos matted. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mount these so that we can see some of that pretty punched border. But obviously we're not going to see all of it, but we'll see some of it. That's the point, I guess. So I'm just leaving not even 1/8 of an inch between the photos, and I've got about 1/2 inch at the top and about 1/2 inch at the bottom. And then going to add these photos on the side such that they are, the bottom of the photo is the same as this one. The mat is in the same place, if that makes sense. Okay. So just like that. All right, then over here we're going to, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to mat these vertical photos first and leave about 1/2 inch at the bottom. And I'm putting them right up against the edge of the word paper, and then leaving just not even 1/8 of an inch between, just like we did on the opposite page. And then this paper, or this picture, will go leaving about 1/8 of an inch of the word paper, but the bottom edge will be even with this, the bottom of this photo. And same thing, this one will be the same place as the bottom photo, where the top edge of the photos is the same. All right, so we are ready for embellishments. This is the sticker sheet for this theme pack, and I have a few other cute little word things that I thought would be fun to add to this, because you can see my daughter's got her hood on, my husband has his hat on, we've all got our coats. It was a rainy day, and but we were having fun even though it was a rainy day. So I thought that some of these would be appropriate. Nothing can dim the light that shines from within, right? And this one, Sunshine State of Mind. So we've got some yellow in these umbrellas that people were using. So we probably ought to put the yellow on this page to kind of just balance it out just a little bit. And this one, I think I'm going to put over here under Emily for having fun. And this one we will put up. Let's see, I want to leave that area for some journaling, so we can put this one kind of up here. Nothing can dim the light that shines from within. And as far as stickers go, we have this cool sticker that depicts a castle, and we have some other shamrocks and Celtic knots, which I thought might be appropriate to go ahead and just use, and some hearts also that we could add. So I'm just going to I'm going to pull out my foam squares and we're going to go to town. Alright, so let's see. I think the castle, I don't know, should we add the castle down here? Maybe we should, because that would work. So I'm going to add some repositionable adhesive and then just sort of work my cloud underneath the castle just a little bit. But we want the castle to be straight, so we'll do it like that. Sunshine State of Mind. And then we'll add just a little shamrock off to the side, kind of. We'll put him right here. Okay, so then we'll just pop this up on some foam squares. I'm going to use a little one up here on this top part of the castle just so that he doesn't stick. Okay. Wow, these are really on there well, this batch. All right. Okay, so this is going to just go right here, right where the photos are coming together. Sunshine State of Mind. Don't we need to be in a sunshine state of mind all the time? I think so. All right, and maybe what we'll do is we'll use this Exploring Ireland, and we'll kind of just cover up the exploring part with the words, which it actually does surprisingly well. And I'm not going to pop this one up with foam squares because it's going to go almost exactly opposite of where this one is, so I don't want to have double foam squares. Or we could put it up here, I suppose. I don't know, I kind of like it better down here. But it would be better to have it up here. Alright, so we'll put it up here. So it really doesn't matter. It could be popped up if we wanted, but I'm just going to leave it because I already put the adhesive on. Alright, and then this one, let's see. I want to add this, but I don't know if I really want the Celtic Wonders part of it. So I wonder if I could kind of just add it like this. If that would look okay. Kind of needs a little something something. Well, let's see. Let's go ahead and we'll put some, just add a little bit of adhesive on the sticker, because I don't really need the Celtic Wonders. Do like that, and add some foam squares to pop this up. Give it some oomph that way. Okay, and this one will go right here. And then I'm going to add a cute little green heart right here, approximately where Dublin is, because that's where these photos are. Alright, there we go. So there's our layout, and let's see. I can go ahead and journal, and I will journal up here and down here to talk about Lady Justice and tell the story that I told you earlier, and probably a little bit down here as well to talk about this statue. But here was our original sketch, and then we doubled it, but we also turned them and made them vertical, and here is what we ended up with. It's fun to play with a sketch, turn it around and move things to customize it to what you need. So let me know what you think about this in the comments. We're still working on our goal of gaining more subscribers, so I would love for you to comment. There will be another drawing as soon as we reach 975. So keep commenting. All of the people who didn't win in the 950 drawing are still eligible. Your comments are still going to stay in the bucket until we reach 975. So keep commenting. Thanks so much for your support. And until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Thanks so much. Make it a great day.